Guys should have their own version of Galentine's Day. Hi, I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. And why am I saying that? Well, number one, I had this discussion with a friend of mine recently. Guys, and we were somewhat joking, but also somewhat serious, which is how most guys deal with emotions. Guys don't get told a lot that they are enough, that they are loved. They just don't, especially single guys. Guys in relationships tend to get that more often, but single guys really don't get that much. And it makes sense. I mean, most guys also aren't actively pushing for that to be part of the discussions when it comes to their emotions. But especially around Valentine's Day, it starts to suck to be single, not because Valentine's Day is all that important. It's not. It's a Hallmark holiday designed to sell product. It sucks because you see all the other relationships out there. You do. Now, girls feel this too. But as my YouTube studio analytics will tell you, not many girls listen to this podcast. In fact, 100% of my listeners are men, at least on YouTube. I think Spotify is a little bit more mixed. But girls specifically designed Galentine's Day for, I think it started, I think, with the single ladies, and now even the ladies in relationships have sort of jumped in on it because girls have an insane pack mentality. Like, when it comes to stuff like this, girls will rally around each other faster than kids at a pep rally. Look, guys, I've had a bunch of coffee today and my brain's still not there, so bear with me. But girls have Galentine's Day, and they develop that specifically as sort of the answer to, well, what if I'm not in a relationship? How do I celebrate Valentine's Day? Again, it's very popular. I don't know that it's 100% popular. I don't even know that Valentine's Day is popular around the world. But Galentine's Day is relatively popular. For the guys, I'm advocating, from here on out, I don't know if we'd call it Galentine's Day. Somebody tried to tell me that the Super Bowl is like Galentine's Day. I deny that. Why? Because the Super Bowl is meant to be enjoyed by everybody. Men, women, children, everybody should be enjoying the Super Bowl. I didn't, because I didn't want to watch Patrick Mahomes win again, but that was just me, and I'm a Debbie Downer. Guys need to spend a lot more time getting used to saying, you are worth it. You are worth the effort I put into this friendship. You are worth the time and energy, and you are worth love. You are worthy of love. They just do. You know how you end up with a lot of men who are broken and a lot of men who are leading statistics in suicide? And no, YouTube, I'm not saying that word. You try to go ahead, try to censor me. It'll probably work because technically speaking, it's your platform. But because men are the leading cause of suicide in this world, leading cause, technically speaking, that's correct, but it's a little dark to phrase it that way. The rate at which men kill themselves is way too high. They are, unfortunately, the leaders in that category. And why is that? I can't say scientifically, and this is only a 10-minute podcast, so I really don't have the wherewithal or the time to delve deeply into that, but a lot of it has to do with the fact that men are told to man up. But it's one thing, I think, we need to parse that as well, because I think it's healthy sometimes to tell a man to man up, but you have to pair that with man up because you are loved, right? Feel your feelings, talk about your feelings, and then realize that you have to live life despite your feelings. Man up and you are loved. Or you are loved and man up. It can go two ways. The problem is when you don't add in the you are loved part, you open the door for guys like Andrew Tate to come in and say, if you're not going to be loved, you need to be a psychotic animal who abuses women because it's good for women. That's a whole heap of logic I don't understand. Andrew Tate's an interesting character. And he's an interesting character mostly because he's exploiting a gap in men's mental health that we've created. We've created this monster. Men don't get told enough that they are worthy of love and care and attention. They just don't. It's just a fact. And so we leave the door open for men to take matters into their own hands, to become emotionless. And the problem with being emotionless is that you are not actually lacking in emotion. It's just buried deep and is being expressed in usually unhealthy ways, either over self-medicating in general, but especially over self-medicating in particularly dangerous ways. Anything to feel something when you've tamped down the emotions that a human being naturally feels. And eventually, you can't feel anything. And unfortunately, if you can't feel anything, life's not worth living anymore. This Valentine's Day holiday, I will encourage the men who listen to this podcast to find somebody, anybody, a fellow man. Tell if you are dating a woman and you do love them, don't lie to them. But if you do love them, tell them you love them. Tell your family you love them. And find a guy in your life. Longtime friend, cousin, whatever. Put your hand on their shoulder and tell them that not only are they worthy, but they are loved. It can make all the difference in the world. Or don't. If you don't have somebody who can be that for you, because while you do have to put your hand on somebody's shoulder, somebody should also put their hand on your shoulder. I'm going to put your shoulder over here and look you dead in the eyes. You are worthy. And you are loved. Whether or not it's by me, by somebody else, you are worthy of love. And you are loved. No matter what happens, that will never change. Doesn't matter the mistakes you've made. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you did. Because you are loved and you are worthy of love. Somebody's going to come at me in the comments with but what about somebody who committed a horrific crime? You know what? I discussed this earlier. There's some crimes I'll agree with you that it's no good. But how long does punishment last? That's a discussion for another podcast, but I'd say in the case of 95% of men, you are loved and worthy of love. And if you're struggling, don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to say something. Not everybody always knows. But the true way to man up is to let your feelings out. Let a brother know you love them. And in return, open your heart to being loved this Valentine's Day. That's all I got for you. We're a little early for Valentine's Day, but that's okay. I'm fine with it. I've reached my allotted time. You are worthy, and you are loved. I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. Have a great day.